the What the Ruck Rugby Podcast with Angus Opperman.
So this is the What the Ruck Pod in collaboration with Megafoon Sport, and today I'll be talking about my beloved Stormers. Guys, honestly, I was at the jersey launch, I was at the season function where they had all these promises about the season, and Dabo spoke about we're not going to rely on a team to do us a favor, we're not going to rely on this and that, and I was full of optimism, guys. You know what? We were gifted this beautiful jersey. As you can see, it's got all the ex-players and current players' name on, which is amazing. But to play against the Ospreys, and I know it's not the easiest team. They were the best Welsh team last season, and they knocked over quite a few big guys in the competition, but including ourselves at the DHL Stadium, that 28-21 result. So it's not a team that we have a lot of success against. I think we only beat them once at home or twice at home, and I think we drew against them away and lost now this past weekend as well. But I just felt that after 3-4 years in URC, I think it's our fourth year now, we're playing in URC, right? After 4 years, surely by now you should know how to handle and how to play in those conditions. Now I listened to the press conference, and Dabo said that he was happy with some things. He felt a bit bitter about this one, and he said that he felt that there were some things they worked on that worked, but ultimately they didn't get the result, and not even a losing bonus point. And they were about 2 minutes away from scoring the winning try. I mean, that's how the game just went. You know, at the end of the day, 2 penalties, you're back on your own 5-meter line. Ospreys has a maul. Ben Jason Dixon collapses it, he gets a yellow card and a penalty try, and you lose by a big margin, which doesn't reflect how close that game actually was. Now, if I look back to that game, guys, you know what? I look at these stats, and I love stats, you know, but I look at these stats and I ask myself, how the hell did the Stormers lose this game? Like, do explain to me. If you look at the territory, Ospreys had 45%, Stormers had 55%. I mean, that's a great stat to have. If you have the territory, you should be able to actually get it over the line. I think historic Springbok teams as well, they didn't rely so much on possession, but more on territory, hence the kicking game. And the Bulls of old as well, they used to play the old kicking game and only worked on territory and turnovers, and then they attack from there. You know, they work on the opposition mistake. And Double mentioned this as well. He said that if the Stormers lose their lineouts, which they did, and they were actually 100%, credit to you, Joseph Weber, well done. And Andre Goventer as well, but more Joe, we know why. If you lose your lineouts and you miss or you lose your contestables, then you probably won't win the game. And Double mentioned that we lost the contestables a lot, and it wasn't just the high bombs in the air getting the ball back. It was on the ground. It was everywhere there was a contest for the ball. The Stormers came out on the wrong side more often than not, which is not great. And I think that's where a guy like Dion Free was missed, but also in the same breath, we let Nama go to the Bulls. He would have been perfect for that game. Just saying, guys. I'm just saying. And talking about possession as well, possession the last 10 minutes where the game was in the balance, I think within 6 points. Now, this is what baffles me. Listen to this. Possession the last 10 minutes, Ospreys 24%, Stormers 76%. Now, if you got all that possession and you can't even score a 5-pointer, surely you can't tell me that's not a coaching issue. Now, look, guys, don't get me wrong. I love Double with all my heart. You know, I'm good friends with Rito, the assistant coach, but it's not to bash them. But surely, again, after a couple of seasons, you should know how to win away from home, especially in Wales. The only wins we got there as the Stormers are 2 wins against the Dragons. The first one being in 2021. That was the first URC. And I think the second one was sometime last year. Yeah, not this year actually. This year we had to win there to stay in the fight for the top 6 or the top 8. So Wales has not been good to us. I think the other win we had was against Scarlets, and that was also a last minute in URC back in 2022 before the playoffs, to get the second spot on the log. So Wales has not been too kind to us. We travelled to Italy now. We're already there. We landed, I think, on Sunday evening. Well, the boys, not we, I'm not there, but the boys landed on Sunday evening to face Zebre, who famously beat Munster, 2022-3 URC finalists, or actually champions. That's not an easy thing to do. I mean, we haven't even beaten Munster in URC yet. It's their first win over Munster as well, and I think about 24 attempts. We had like 3 or 4, including a final, and lost all of them. So it's not been great for the Stormers against Munster. But Zebre went to go do it. I mean, that's amazing for them as well. But just back to this game quickly. Yeah, and that was the last 10-minute position I mentioned, like the 24% and 76%. And the overall position was 45% and 55% for the Stormers. So you got everything. You got your territory, you got your possession. What do you do with all that? And I'll tell you where it comes from, or where this whole thing actually went pear-shaped. Now, I got the stats here, as you can see. So the Stormers had 123 carries as opposed to the Ospreys 76. And one more line break, 5-4. And here's where the important stats come in. Turnovers 1, 6 for the Stormers. So that's a good one against 4. But the turnovers lost stat is 12-10 in favor of the Ospreys. So there was a lot of balls lost, be it in contact, be it through our own mistakes. And we spoke about this, or I spoke about this to MV a couple of months ago in the RC when the Stormers started their first tour, of how many balls we lost with silly offloads, and we singled out a couple of guys, and I'm hoping one of the guys are coming back now for the second match. I think he's in contention as well. But we just don't have this model to play in those conditions where the ball won't always stick to your hands. And I don't know, you should be more set-based or set-piece based orientated, but we do, but then we don't get it right. I mean, we run all our lineouts, but we couldn't get over the line with our maul. We were about, centimeters away from the line, and then we gave a penalty away for sealing off and ended up losing the match by quite a decent margin. We were just only 6 points behind. I think we lost by 13. So it's so frustrating actually, because I had big hopes for the season, and maybe that's just me being a full optimistic fan. But in the same breath, I just don't feel we learned anything as of yet. But I mean, we play Zebre this weekend. We haven't lost to them. Well, not yet, and hopefully never. But I mean, they did the one on Munster now, so we can't take them lightly. And I think if there's one game that we probably would have targeted going into this tour is the Zebre game. So last season we lost all 4. I think we lost against Cardiff in the last minute. We lost against Edinburgh. We lost against Glasgow, and I think we lost against Benetton. I think those are the 4 games we lost at the start of last season. We're on a 3-week tour now. We already lost to the Ospreys in the first one. You got Zebre this coming weekend, and then the weekend after it's Edinburgh. But that should be a target as well, because Edinburgh still played 2 matches in South Africa now. So they played against the Bulls. They played against the Lions this weekend, I think. I'm not too sure. And then they travel back, but we are there. So I would feel that we should take advantage of their travel to their home ground and at least get 2 out of 3. Then I won't be so miffed. I think 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I mean, what's the guy's name? I used to love listening to that song. Meatloaf used to sing, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And if you can get 8, 9, 10 points out of a possible 15, I'll take it. You know, come back to Cape Town. DHL Stadium is a fortress for us. We've only lost like 4 games there ever, I think. At least in the URC and in the Champions Cup. I think before that there were a couple more in that Rainbow Cup era, which was very much of a blow for me, that COVID period. But I think where the Stormers are now, if they can be better than last season, and they should be better, I feel, better equipped, you know, even though there's a lot of injuries and few Springboks still out. Might be a few returning, but that's only when the guys get back to Cape Town now, so it's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee, and I'm sure they'll also give the guys some time off, especially those who didn't play or actually played a lot. I think a guy like Marnie, he didn't play too much, although he did towards the latter end of the championship. Played almost a full game against Argentina now this past weekend. So I think the guys didn't play too much. They'll get opportunities. There's a few guys coming back as well, so we'll see how it goes. But I think looking towards this weekend, we do play in Italy. I won't be surprised if Dewald Duvenage, who's on a pay-as-you-play sort of contract. It's not on a contract, it's a pay-as-you-play sort of deal, should I say. You know, so if you play a match, you get paid for that match. But I mean, he played for Benetton for quite a number of seasons now. Played against the Stormers as well for Benetton. Captained them. He was like a player coach in the last season. He officially retired and he ended up in Cape Town back home, and then got called up during the Currie Cup against the Cheetahs. I was still there and I was looking at the team sheet and I'm like, guys, they all do for now at number 9. What's happening here? You know, so they confirmed to me at the game as well that he was on the pay-as-you-play sort of basis. But I mean, Devil Duvenage is there. And if I have to select a team for this weekend with the available resources, I think I'll go from 15 to 1. Let's go Warikaland, fullback, Leolan Zas, wing, Suleiman the other wing, Ruwan at number 13, Dan Dube at 12. And then the 9 and 10 combo. Now this is where it's going to get, I'm not too sure. I mean, Yuri Mattia had a great debut for the Stormers against Leicester Tigers. But we haven't seen that same Yuri Mattia since. So I'm not sure. Like, do you play Damon Willemse at 10 with Warwick at 15? That's what I'm thinking. And then you got Devil Duvenage at 9, or maybe a Paul de Wet. I mean, they're both great players. I think Devil will be more suited towards the Italian European conditions. So I'll say play Davies at 9, play Damien at 10, and then Warwick at 15. I think Keke had a good shift at number 8. He was one of the most hardworking guys in the pack. He's a really promising talent, guys. I can promise you that he's going to make a name for himself in the Western Province and Stormer jerseys. Number 7, I'll probably go Marcel Tennyson. Number 6, that loose trio, it can go either way. I'm not too sure about number 6. I think I'll get back to that one because there's so many guys out. I'm not sure who's fit for that number 6 position, but I know about my locking partners. They're going to be Ruben and JD for sure. I'll go that way. And then Nietas at tight heads. I'll start Andre Gofente at number 2. And of course, Steve Sitole at number 1. I just don't get why Joseph still gets preferred at the Stormers as the starting hooker when Andre Gofente is ahead of him in the pecking order for the Springboks. But hey, I'm not the coach, I'm just a fan making videos for you guys and love supporting the Stormers and love the sport itself. But yeah, let's go further on with this discussion. So we go to the bench. You got maybe Joe, Sazi's tight head. Your loose set will be probably Brocky. You can cover both. Loose forward replacement Diego 6'2", Diego 5'3". Who knows? I think let's go 5'3". Let's have your lock on. It's Audrey Smith. Audrey on the bench. Then a nice Lucy on the bench would be, I think, a more utility guy. I think a guy that can cover lock and flanker. I'm not sure if Connor Evans is on tour with them, but if he is, I'll add him as well. And then number 9, if Devil is starting, I would say Paul de Wet. Your number 10 replacement will probably be Yuri Mattia. And then your number 23, I normally believe it should be a versatile guy who can cover at least wing and center. So, interesting. I'm not too sure. It should be number 23 though, to be honest. But you guys can let me know what you think about the selection. Who would you add in my flanker and replacement backline player? Because I'm not sure myself who I would want there. But anyway, Stormers, guys, all the best for the weekend. I would love for you to get at least one win on the road. For starters, I know that last season in the second tour you got the results against Connacht and I think against the Dragons. So please make it 2 out of 3. It wouldn't be that bad. Cheers, guys.
The What the Ruck Rugby Podcast with Angus Opperman.